Don't get so used to this. We're not children and we're not animals. You can have structure, but leave some wiggle room for some change. Leave some wiggle room for that detour I told you about. You're not stuck. Hey guys, welcome back to Is It Tuesday podcast. I'm Cris Cavallari. When I first pulled up to the space today, and I thought to myself, I'm going to talk about this. And that's normally what happens. I'm like, I have an idea of what I want to talk about, but just like my clothes, I can't really premeditate things. I can't be like, oh, I'm going to wear this on Monday and this on this. I can't. It's a feeling. It's something that I have to go, just off of how I'm feeling. And as I was driving here this morning, old past life me could have been in a panic. I could have just felt like so overwhelmed. And then I realized that I'm going to really say the last year. The last year without realizing that I've learned how to adapt. Just like kids and, I don't want to say kids and animals at the same time, but fuck it. Because sometimes the motherfuckers both run amok. They operate better with like a schedule. Your dog is waiting for you to come home at this time, to walk them at this time. If you're late, they might have, certain things that they're just wired differently. But they have no control. A dog can't let themselves out unless you in the movies where you got that little doggy house thing. I never once thought I would have one. I want one. I just feel like Home Alone where the people peek their head through the thing. I don't like that. So X you out if you have a little doggy door and your dog could go out and let themselves out. Don't comment and say, my dog can. Okay, cool. I don't want that. I'm not going to have that ever. But the dog has to wait for you to give them their food, take them for a walk, give them playtime. Children have to, especially if they're under a certain age, you got to wake them up. You got to make their breakfast. You got to do all of these things. And they work better with a schedule and some structure. Moms, unfortunately, don't have as much of structure as we would like. I don't. Do you? You can have these moments where you're like, okay, I'm going to do this, but things happen. And you have to think, what I could go crazy and be like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Or you could say, okay, let me just move some things around. And one thing most mothers do is move some things around. I was looking at my phone a couple of days ago and there was a picture of me using the bathroom and I had this baby and I took a picture. So that says a lot. I have this baby and I'm like, and I think about how first you'd be like, oh, is this a picture of you yeah, but you got a baby on your lap. And you took a picture and y'all both look kind of cute. It's a lot going on. This is going to be crazy, but there's mothers that had to change. It's that time of the month. You got to change. I got to change this thing with this. It's a lot, but you learn how to do it. It's second nature. It's second nature if you're present. It's second nature because last time, the first time, put it that way, the first time you panicked, that's okay. The first time that some shit ruffles you up and changes your schedule, you panic. Especially when you're not in a place that that you're doing, I don't want to say doing your best because at every stage you're doing your best. Only if you could be doing more. It's not up to me. It's not up to anybody on social media. It's not up to anybody outside of you. It's not up to your coworkers, your friends, your baby daddy, your mama, your aunt. It's not up to anybody. You know how much you can do. And if you base it off what they can do, they're putting their limitations on you. So, maybe, this person couldn't do this. You ever see somebody that got 8 kids? You're like, oh my God, couldn't. Yeah, you couldn't, but she did. She does. because she knows she can, right? It's all a mindset. So as I'm driving this morning, of course, the monkey wrench gets thrown into our plans often. I would be a fool to not say why and how I've been able to adapt. I've been able to adapt because I have no choice. I don't have a partner I can tag in. I don't have a support system with this person that I could tag in, to be completely honest. Yes, I can call my mom and I can ask my sister and I can get a nanny. But when it comes to it at that beginning stage, when I thought I couldn't, when I wasn't used to change, when I thought that shit, well, this is a team. When I thought those things and then I realized those things were not true. I don't have a teammate in parenting. You see, I'm getting better. I didn't say motherhood because there's a lot of single fathers out here that are raising their children. So I'm just going to start saying in parenthood. There's no one that I can call and say, hey, he's sick. Can you go pick him up because I'm an hour away? Because even when they could, they didn't. So that forced me to say, who can I do? Who can I run to? I heard escape. Maybe it's the train. Tell me, who can I run to? Myself. I started to realize I can depend on me. I can get it done. I can sit here and cry over this spilled milk, or I could pour me another glass. You mean to tell me I could get on my phone and order my groceries? I don't got to lug this sick baby outside and do all of these things. Have really taught me in this last year. You did it last time. And it only gets easier because you let it go. You let go of the control. This is going to be a lot for some of us to hear. But what's holding you back is waiting. Waiting for someone to come back from the store for bread. Waiting for someone to show up that's not coming. Their intentions are not to come. Their intentions are to make it harder for you. I drove here, and today is, this is going to come out when it's going to come out, but time is, time is whatever. Fluent. What I realized is, even when I put structure into my day, into things that I need to get accomplished, if it has anything to do with someone else, I remember, this is crazy because sometimes you don't think a wish or a prayer is like, you don't even know that sometimes you just saying something like, I wish I had a partner to help me, to tag in, to play these roles. Like, okay, I got home, like I did the dishes, you did this. That would be so beautiful. That would be so beautiful. But until that comes, you hire the people to help you do that. And you thank God, you thank Source like, hey, instead of saying, oh my gosh, I had to do this by myself. Thank you so much, God, that I'm able, that I'm capable, that you put me in position to do this, that you made it possible for me to get it done. See, because I was so focused on complaining about what's not getting done, I didn't even realize I could just do it. I could just do it. A lot of y'all are in the same position because you just don't want to just do it. You are wanting to hold someone else accountable, and you can't. You can't. They got to hold themselves accountable. What you can do is what you can do. So last week, I'm planning, but I'm not planning. And the reason that I don't plan is because shit always happens. If I plan for the weekends that my son's not home, if I plan for the weeks that he's not supposed to be home, it's going to last for about a month and something's going to happen. And because now this is the third time that this is happening, I'm a pro. The first time it hurt like hell. The first time was confusion. Like, what the fuck is happening? The first time. I was like, what? But it was easy because he didn't notice. My son was too young to notice. That second time, it felt like hot grease. It felt like, you cooking something pop on you. It felt like it hurt, it stung. It was like, ooh, paper cut. And what hurt most about it the second time is that my son was aware. He didn't know what he was aware of, but he knew he was aware. He's used to structure. Now he has this big change. And it was hard. It was hard. It was so hard to watch someone physically, emotionally go through these changes and you couldn't do nothing about it. I felt like how I handle myself in this scenario will determine how our life plays out. Months and months and months go by. And I realized something. The consistency, the schedule, what started off hard, and there's still a lot of hard parts, we were able to have structure, stability, safety, comfort, joy. I could never really have, especially in this is the 7th year, so this is a year of completion. This is done. The podcast is called Is It Tuesday? I don't know if I've talked about it on this season, last season, whenever, but Tuesday came about, not just about me celebrating myself, going to dinner. Tuesday, when it first happened, Goliath will leave every Tuesday, Thursday, every other weekend. Tuesday after a long weekend would be like, oh my gosh, let me do the laundry. Let me do this. I just wanted to I didn't know what to do at first. And then I just wanted to do everything at once. And then I gradually got into healing myself, rebuilding myself. Not the mother, not the baby mother, not the sister, not the homegirl, like my Crystal. At first, it's like, let me get my nails done. Let me go have a espresso, a lemon drop, some oysters. It's all of these things. But I had to go deep and do the healing work. And I had to really say, God, this is something big. And this is not something that, I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one going through this. But everybody doesn't make it to the other side. A lot of people get stuck in their hurt and their disappointment. A lot of people just become zombies and just robotic. They don't really feel. I think I wasn't feeling the first time. The second time, because it affected someone outside of me that I could physically see every day, my son was having nightmares. My son was going through it. Last year was difficult. But we've mastered something. We adapted to something. Now, it's unfortunate that we're back in the same situation. I no call, no show. You say one wrong thing to me, you say one wrong thing, I bet you I won't get them. This is your punishment. Is it a punishment? It's only a punishment when your children are a burden. What I start thinking about when someone says, because you did this, I'm not going to do this, there's always a backup plan. There's always room to adapt. It's funny because imagine if I would just be getting oysters, getting my nails done, and I wasn't handling business because I started prioritizing what I needed to do when I had that free time. I can't always go somewhere. I got to skip some shit. I was just on live in the young and someone's like, "Oh, hey from New Orleans." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I want to get back to New Orleans. I only been twice." And of course we start talking about Essence and like, "Oh my God, it would be great." I'm like, "Yo, I really wanted to go to Essence." But and it's crazy because Essence would have been that week of Essence, it would have been my off week. I have a court order. During the school year, it's every other weekend. During the summer breaks and stuff like that, it's week to week. You got them 1 week. Because I've experienced this 2 times prior, I know that this time is, the first time 6 months, second time 9 months, who knows how long this one will be. The difference is we've adapted because I adapted. My son, and I won't say that this is an easy thing. This is not like it doesn't matter. It does matter. It does matter. Because like children, like I said, and animals, they are used to they're used to that structure. It's just unfortunately that this is my son's reality. This is what he knows. What he knows, last year, it was painful to watch. It was devastating to watch. It was questions I had no answers to. But because I kept calm, because I did not let this thing that was sent to distract me or stop me from my purpose. A lot of times people do things because they want to stop you. They don't want you back. Yeah, they don't want you back. But you better not be happy, bitch. You better not grow. Oh, let me throw. And that's the thing. There's always going to be someone to throw a monkey wrench in your plans. You're going to have to master the art of letting go. If I can't make dinner, I just can't go. If I can't make Essence, I guess I wasn't supposed to be there. I think about it that way. What is meant for me won't pass me. I'll get there. Essence ain't going nowhere. But imagine if I let the anger of being, or the disappointment of a Black father purposely, abruptly changing a schedule, changing the structure of a Black boy. Now, the crazy part about that is I can't wait because, I'm going to have some guests and male, black men and some women, because over the years of all of these things happening, I've built a community, thankfully, that I was able to build a community where my son sees these amazing figures in his life. And the crazy thing about it, this is not bashing anyone, let's be clear, but I am going to speak on my experience. You and I, women, we cannot raise a man. Shout out to the great K. Michelle. We can't raise a man, right? But what we can do is raise someone with dignity, respect, self-control. You can give them all of these tools to be the best, but they're still going to lack that one thing. They got to see him do it. And it's so crazy because when I don't watch sports a lot, but when I do catch like sports, like, the awards or like a music award show, and these great men get on stage, and who do they often thank? They thank their mother. Oh, I remember my mom working hard and she come home after work and take me to my soccer game and take me to karate lessons and take me to basketball and take me and do these things. Because she adapted. I'm sure at that young age, and the mother may have been frustrated, but you know what now? If I feel overwhelmed or if I feel frustrated or if I feel like I was snappy, my period coming, something, anything, you're just tired, I make sure I apologize and I make sure I say, you know what? Mommy's really tired right now. This is what's going on. This is why I feel like this. I show him how to adapt. So on my way here, it's crazy. Last week he was only going to be in camp the weeks that he was home. Actually, he was going to be in soccer camp for 1 week. We're going to vacation for a week. All of our weeks were planned. So the weeks that he is, probably going to be home now that are not my weeks, instead of me forcing someone to do the right thing, or is it the right thing? I don't know. Instead of me forcing, I just adapt. I got online. Camp. Oh my God. Swimming twice a day. Adventures in the woods. And I booked it. So as I dropped him off today, our first day, I had to pack the lunch and do this and do that. And I really thoroughly enjoy it. And I thank God that now, where I am in my life, I can adapt. I didn't have this mindset at 16. I thank God that it waited until I was in a position that I could handle this. That I could use my mind to say, okay, those are my feelings, but what makes sense? How do I get myself or keep myself where I've worked so hard to be? You adapt. Everything changes. 5 minutes ago was different. Like 5 minutes ago was something totally different happening. It doesn't take days and weeks and months and years. Minutes, seconds are change. If I get a call right now to leave, I'm not gonna, oh my gosh, I had this to do. It's that control mind. Like, yo, it'll be here tomorrow. So when a young lady's like, you should be at Essence, I had to tell her, and it sparked this conversation in me. I'm like, adapt. I wasn't so open to adapting years ago because I was used to things being a certain way. But when you get into a situation and you have no choice, even when you're out of the situation, you realize this is actually this is life. Life is about adapting, going through changes and growing. You know why I'm saying that? And I say it with confidence now. The third time, my son's not crying. My son's like, yes. Because he feels it. That's the thing. We got to be careful what we do, because you're not going to like how the other people adapt to your absence. I got in here today. I got my shit done. And I was proud of me. I was every small thing I'm proud of me. If we get out of the house on time, I'm proud of me. If I took out the trash and loaded the dishwasher, I'm proud of me. Every small thing is a win to me. Everything. Because years ago, I would be crying, trying to figure out, how am I going to do this? And it's a victim mindset. You ain't nobody leaving me stuck. You're not stuck. They want you to believe that you're stuck. They want you to believe that, oh my God, how am I going to, baby, you might have to rearrange some things, but you ain't stuck. You can move some shit around. And that's why it's so important to really understand putting yourself in a different position where you're not dependent on someone. Now listen, I'm not saying, oh, I don't need nobody. I ain't say that. I need. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, with or without any of your involvement, we have everything we need. Yours will be extra. Because you know who I can depend on? You know who put that in me? You know the only person, the only thing that I need to worship? It's crazy because even when I started coaching, even when I decided to take the classes to coach, I know with so many people trying to figure out how did she get out of that knot. I double hog tied that bitch and she broke free. I triple dog hog tied her ass, gagged her, and she free. They done woke up a giant. Because once you realize that those shackles, you can get out. It's almost like this bracelet. You're like, oh my God, that looks so difficult to put on. It looks so difficult to put on. It's not. You can take that shit off as soon as you realize, wait a minute. Wait a minute. You know that little boy? Wait a minute. I've been keeping the door was the door was open this whole time. I could get up out this motherfucker if I want to. Adapt. Don't get so used to this. We're not children and we're not animals. You can have structure, but leave some wiggle room for some change. Leave some wiggle room for that detour I told you about. You're not stuck. Mentally. But when I got in here today and I said, oh, let's get it. And you know what it really was? I'm going to be honest. Jeezy thawed out. You got to listen. When you listen to certain music in the morning on your way to work, on your way to the gym. You know you got that gym station. You be getting it because gym station, you want to hear like, let me stunt on, you want to get you gotta, oh, I'm outside, 95 degrees. You hearing that. You like, shit, she right. I could wear a blazer and 7 p.m. Friday, 95 degrees. That's that music to the gym. On your way to work, trap or die, Jeezy, okay? Thug motivation. That's what you hearing that. I gotta get it. You adapt. The greatest gift you can give yourself is to say, let me flow like water. Let me move. Let me not force things. Let me flow. Anything you put water in, it takes shape of that. Let me just not be so, I need it this way, and why is this? Things are going to happen. And I promise you, it's just going to be a catalyst to your growth. If you are watching your kids play like Mario, or you play Mario and Luigi, or you play Pac-Man and you died, you had to start over, you died again, you had to start over, you died again. Now when you come back, oh, I remember this shit. Last time I did that and that was the wrong move. I had to go that way. Oh, they coming from the top. I gotta go. You gotta be able to shake it up. I'm proud of me. I'm proud of me and I'm proud of you. Because trust me, baby, once you realize that there's a crack in the gate, there's a opening in the window, and you can free yourself, nobody will be able to put you back in a trap. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. You see how I said back in the trap, Jeezy trap it out. Wordplay. Nobody could trap you. You may have fell a few times, skint your knee up, panicked. But this time you're going to remember the last time and which way you went. Because when it happens again, because things are always, we are not, our lives here, this human experience is for us to learn. It's really for us to learn. And we got free will. And the crazy thing is you don't have to match it. Like, I know it's nice to match energy. I know that somebody will get mad that I'm telling my story, but you've been watching me for a long time. You've been watching me from this job to this job to this job to this life. You've seen many of my lives. You've seen me morph into a motherfucking Power Ranger. You've seen me wiggle out that knot. You've seen me wiggle myself out that knot. And see, when you watch a movie, this is how I knew. Sometimes y'all watch a movie, right? I'm about to tell y'all bye, but something else came. You watch a movie, you be like, well, why did they do that? I would have did this. And why she ain't waiting till this? And why he ain't do this? And you play out these scenarios in your head. I'm the only one. That's my Pisces moon being delusional. My delusion is what got me here. My delusion is what made me realize something on the other side. I gotta see it. I gotta swim through this ocean with sharks. Baby, my son's name is Goliath. I joke, I'll be like, I'm David. I mastered the thing that thought it was going to keep me at a low frequency, keep me from tapping into my purpose, when it actually woke up my purpose. I am here to serve women and children. I am here to give you the play. I'm here to tell you, I know, because baby, I used to get popped in my mouth as a child. I always had something to say. I always got a question. My son's the same way. Oh my gosh. And anytime I want to be like, I'm like, damn, I keep forgetting he's me. There's never been a time that I could just sit and watch something happen and not warn you and not say, no, don't do that, do this, or try this. Adapt is the lesson this week. You wanted to do this and you wanted to do that and I know, me too. But the beauty of it is nothing that's for you will ever miss you. Even when you adapt, how do you know that road trip and you seen that road, the detour on the road, that didn't lead you to a more beautiful place, a more fulfilling place? How you crying behind what's behind that door and ain't nothing there. It's a jack in the box. You played this game and the prize was very small. You collecting all of these things and it doesn't fulfill you. We worried about the woulda, coulda, shouldas when we could be doing. We are doing. Nothing's going to, if you could adapt, you'll understand everything is divinely guided and you are protected. Because I know I am. Thanks for tuning in this week. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Tell a friend. She might need to hear this.